Hey everybody, how you doing? AmpRepairGuy.com here. Please like, share, subscribe at the end of the video. I have a amplifier that just came in from Hogwarts. Just kidding. The owner wants me to go through it. Just did another amplifier for him. He wants me to go through it, see what I can do. So I have not opened it yet. I noticed that it has a 30 amp breaker on the back. This unit operates off 120, so it's one thing that will have to be changed. That's way too big, as you can see. 30 amp. So I'm going to take the top cover off and we'll go from there. I am back at the top cover off. Okay, so I placed some electrical tape here and some names here. I didn't want to disclose them. Same here, I put a piece of electrical tape here. So that's not factory, that's just placed there by me. Okay, so this is a GI7B indirectly heated cathode tube, a triode. Requires 90-second warm-up, manual start after the 90 seconds, no time delay. I like using a time delay. So if person makes a mistake, they don't end up flashing the tube by applying high voltage and drive too early. Looked up this transformer. It's a transformer out of an Ameritron AL811H 4-tube 811 amplifier. Can be bought from MFJ for like 109 bucks. Got the filter caps. I can see them. Plate choke, wound with Teflon wire. I don't use Teflon wire for my plate chokes. If the choke were to become resonant, and the Teflon were to burn, Teflon emits a phosphine gas, which is deadly. It's poisonous. I don't know what it's wound on. I can't tell. Looks like a really like Delrin material type plastic material. There's a choke down here. I don't know why people do that. They put a clamp on choke. He has a fuse. No glitch resistor. So I'm going to add a glitch. Proper glitch. Here are the meter dropping resistors. Right here. As a plate voltage meter, no plate current meter or grid current meter. On a tube like this, you really should have a grid current meter, since they have a fragile grid. Anode dissipation is 350 watts on this tube, so it's less than a 3500Z. You have the plate tune cap. I'm sorry, that's the load cap. And the plate tune cap is a standoff between the pi coil and the plate tune cap. It's steel. I don't know why. That's not. I don't know. I wouldn't do that. With the lead length. Here's the 50 ohm coax from the load tuner going down to the TR relay in the bottom, which I haven't looked at yet. He has a centrifugal type blower on the back. It looks like, I don't know why he has that there. There's like a rubber. I'll figure that out once I open the bottom cover. I don't know if the opening's overlapping or what, but the opening on the output flange. So I'm only doing a couple, 2-3 things to this thing. It needs a lot, but he doesn't want to put money into it. I don't blame him. I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't recommend putting a bunch into this. Another problem: the plate transformer is not shielded more the filter caps. They're not shielded from the RF portion. Really should have a wall separating the two. So once again, just doing a few things. By adding the glitch, if a tube were to flash, it'll help protect the diodes and also the tube. By changing the line breaker from a 30 to the proper size, if the tube were to flash, or let's say, well, I guess you have the fuse that would open, but if the filter cap were to short, you wouldn't have to worry about losing the transformer. There's a good chance that, almost 100% chance that you'd end up frying the transformer before the breaker popped. I've seen it before on other amplifiers. So okay, so I'm going to take the bottom cover off and then I'll go from there. Okay, I'm back here with the bottom. Okay, so I looked it over. I ended up disconnecting that 30 amp breaker, put a fuse holder in. Wires are still disconnected, but I'll connect those shortly. Those metal shavings are for me. I had to enlarge the hole. So the way he has this set up is on-off switch and standby operate switch. The on-off switch controls the blower, the filament transformer, and this little supply right here. So when he turns it on, this relay engages. All these three items get power. Okay. So after 90 seconds, he engages the second switch, which sends the power over to the first relay, which is the relay that handles the biasing and the output RF switching, and also the relay that controls the plate primary. So when he keys the amplifier, it has an RF sniffing circuit, no foot pedal needed. This relay engages, and it engages the second relay. So this is the output, the relay that handles the output RF switching. So that means there's a slight delay. That means that this relay will hot switch. Since this one's engaging first and RF's getting to the cathode and the tube's producing the output, that will hot switch. That's not good. Eventually that relay will fail. I also noticed the way he has it biased is incorrect. He has the center tap completely lifted above ground when it's unkeyed. Relays are like glued in, I see. And it's going through, for some reason, you have the Zener, and there's a choke in series with the Zener. It's the second time I've seen this. I don't know why people do that. You shouldn't have any RF on the filament transformer. So I don't know why I did that. So if anything, you just have a 0.01 cap that would bring any RF to ground. Actually, he should have chokes, right? He should have a he should have a 0.01 cap on either side of these chokes to ground. So if any RF makes its way past the chokes, the filament chokes, it'll bring it right to ground. So I'll fix that. I'll put in the proper type of bias circuit. I'll put in 0.01 caps. So I really don't like this setup. I don't like how you have the manual switch, because if, let's say, the guy shut the amplifier off and then he turned it on and he forgot that this was on, if the plate comes on and he goes to key it, it'll flash the tube. So it's a cheaper way to do it, but I mean, a relay is like, you can get them for like $8 or $9 online. It's not worth cutting that corner. So you have the input network grounded through the panel. Once again, he has no ground connection. There's no ground connection made here. This lead length is way too long. The cap should either be moved closer to the cathode to keep the lead length shorter between the pi coil, between the C2 cap and the caps here, or should have used 50 ohm coax and then shielded it on either side. So other little issues here or there. You know, this lead length's kind of long. Just all adds up, you know. It just can contribute to parasitic issues. Just all these little things. But I'm not going to go crazy with it. I'm just going to do the things, the small things to keep the price down, and it'll help them out in the long run. Won't be 100%, but okay. So I'll hook up the fuse and go from there. Okay, here's the bottom. I didn't go crazy. Revamped the bias circuit. Now it has a cutoff resistor, so the filament center tap's not floating above ground completely when it's unkeyed. I don't know what mix these are. I'm just leaving them. I put .01 caps between the filament transformer and the chokes to ground, so if any RF gets past the chokes, it'll be brought to ground by the caps. Put in the fuse holder. I didn't ground the input air variables. I left the lead length. Like I said, I'm not going crazy with this thing. Just a bare minimum for him. He doesn't want to be married to it, and I'll blame him. But okay, so I'll finish the top, and then I'll show you the top. That's it. There's still some issues in here, but like I said, I'm not going through the whole thing. This lead length's way too long. Other issues, but you know, the standoff. So added the glitch resistor, put the bypass cap closer to the base of the plate choke instead of having it up here. He has kept nuts as spacers to bring the board up higher on the standoffs because the standoffs are too short. Whatever, I left those, but I added a internal tooth lock washer on each screw, on each 632 screw. So that's about it. I'll check it out, but I'm sure it's all good. So, oh, here's the old choke. I removed this too. Look, I opened this up carefully, and look, the ferrite was broken. So that was useless. It was between the base of the plate choke and the fuse. Forgot that it was missing the output safety choke. There wasn't enough room in the bottom near the relays. This prevents high voltage DC from going on the output coax if the plate blockers were to fail. So I installed a choke. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Also hit the icon that allows you to be alerted when a new video comes on. Have a blessed day.